Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the next episode of the Brio In the Box podcast.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. What's new?
Well, I shaved my head.
Yeah. No hair David over here.
Yeah. I actually did it a long time ago, but when I first did it, I hated it. And so I just wore a hat for a long time and nobody knew.
Like literally for like a month, David had no hair and just nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
knew.
shaved it like early December, I think. And just on a whim, out of nowhere, was just like, I'm going to shave my head. And then I did it. And I was like, fuck, I regret shaving my head. I was like, it'll grow back. It's fine. And so I just wore a hat so I didn't have to talk about it with anybody. A little ninja stealth hat. And then it was starting to grow in again. And you were like, I kind of like it. I kind of like the no hair David thing.
I do. I dig it.
And so I was like, okay, well, you're the only one I'm trying to impress.
Yeah.
So I just did it again. And now I'm kind of into it. And I'm enjoying it.
You just had to get used to it. And I know people were like, does Jocelyn like it? Jocelyn married you with a shaved head. So little known, maybe fun fact, if you didn't know us very many years ago, David had a shaved head when we got married. So I was like, hey, it felt very nostalgic for me at first when you had done it. I was like, oh, it's just like, how long have we been married? 17 years?
Yeah.
I was like, it's just like back then. So
yeah, all of our wedding photos, I have a
shaved head.
Bald melon.
Bald melon. So I'm into it. I signed up for this.
I just like the way it feels. I like how like the little
really low maintenance. You don't have to go for haircuts anymore.
And that was the best part. Going to Maui with a shaved head is so awesome. Like I can just put sunscreen on my head, which is so much easier. And then B, like going in the ocean and not coming out with a hair full of sand and all that is awesome.
It was pretty funny though. A couple times when we were away, the kids were like, Dad, do you have shampoo? And you were like, no, son. No, I don't.
I do not. No. And then, of course, Dash was like, can I shave my head too?
Yeah.
No, because we love your hair too much.
Except for now, he's all about the long hair.
He is now.
And he wants to grow it out and donate it to Lots of Love. Did you know that?
I did, yeah.
So it's actually pretty long in the back.
He's got great hair. It's just blonde, curly locks.
Just madness trying to keep that stuff from being the tangly rat's nest that it is.
We came back from Maui, and 2-3 weeks had gone by. And Dash went and had a bath and really finally, I think you'd helped wash his hair. And after the tub had drained, I looked in the tub and there's this ring of sand, like so much sand in there. I was like, that's been in your hair for weeks. Like, what the hell?
We take good care of our children. Yeah. Everything's fine over here.
I mean, he's a 9-year-old boy. That's just what you're supposed to be like at that age.
A little dirty.
Yeah.
Messy. Running around outside.
A few scars.
Roll them in the dirt. Dunk them in the lake.
Frog in his pocket. Just whatever.
So it is the new year. And it's that time where everybody thinks like new year, new me.
Yeah.
And I had this thought this year that I know there's a certain type of person that's like, I don't make New Year's resolutions, or like it's a virtue to not engage in that. I think we should. And I think there's something annual and ritual and seasonal about it where Christmas time, you sort of hibernate with your loved ones and maybe you eat and drink too much, but that's its own vibe and you enjoy it for that short period of time. And then the new year is this period of kind of cleansing and goal setting and thinking about the future on a little longer term rather than just this Friday. What do you want out of this year? And what was good about last year and what wasn't? And what would you like to be the same? And what would you like to be different? I'm not a religious person, but I know lots of religions involve ritual on an annual basis of cleansing yourself of your sins or thinking about the future or all those kinds of things. So I really do think we should lean into that in doing some goal setting and thinking about some habits and what do we want to do and who and what are we going to spend our time on? Yeah.
And I agree, but the caveat is you can't wait a long time to start, like you can't say, okay, I'm going to start doing this. But leading up to it, I'm going to go fucking crazy, where you that final binge or whatever. Yeah. Or you can't get into the trap of being like, well, I said January 1st, but January 1st fell on a Thursday and I'm going to start on Monday. And then you just keep postponing and postponing and postponing. Yeah. Sometimes you need to just be like, starting tomorrow or starting today or whatever, I'm going to do this thing. So depending on your personality, I think you either have to start when motivation strikes or you give yourself that time and then that's the start and you go for it. It's like when people decide to do the 75 hard or one of those types of challenges. they always say the best day to start is now.
Yeah.
Because if you just wait, that just probably means more time of, you know, debauchery, because you know you're going to go without for however long. And the worst case scenario is when you're like, okay, starting Monday, no more donuts. But today I'm going to eat a bunch of donuts. And then you eat a bunch of donuts. And then Monday comes and you don't do it. And you just eat more and more. And the next thing you know, you've been bulking leading up to a cleanse that never happened.
Yeah. And I think that's most people, the sort of North American, Western society mentality. I was reading some statistics. I recently got to interview Jason Fung. He has a new book coming out in March, which we will do as a book club at Brio. It's a great book called The Hunger Code. But he was talking about weight gain isn't linear across the year and across the decades for most people. People gain weight in short, abrupt bursts around Christmas. Like in the US, it's between Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, and vacations. So you go for that week, that all-inclusive, the cruise ship, whatever it is, you gain 10 pounds. Over Christmas time, you gain your 5 to 10 pounds, and those pounds never come off.
Right.
And that's the slow drip accumulation of how you end up a decade later overweight or obese at that point. And it's not a linear progression throughout the year. It's in these abrupt, like, boop, and then it's a new level, and then up, and then it's a new level, and then up, and it's a new level.
Yeah.
So I think if we're going to engage in feasting, there needs to be periods of fasting to accompany that. That's perfectly normal. It's funny how, you know, the kind of body positivity, anti-diet culture will be like, oh yeah, like feasting is totally fine. Gorging yourself 5,000 or 10,000 calories a day is totally fine. But heaven forbid you should ever fast for a day. No, that's an eating disorder and you're starving yourself and you're going to activate starvation mode, which is completely made up. That's not a real thing. But there's like this balance, the yin and yang, the sun and moon, the light and dark, the feast and fast. These things need to go together.
I like to do the sandwich approach, where leading up to a holiday.
You just like sandwiches, I think is what I got out of that.
Yes, it is my favorite food.
Yeah.
Is a burger a sandwich?
Yes.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Is a taco a sandwich?
Also no.
Okay. Glad we worked that out.
I think it has to be two separate units. Hot dog is one unit in a curve. Taco is one unit in a curve.
So then is a hoagie a sandwich?
Yes. What's a hoagie? Is that's
like in a Subway bun, or the way they used to cut the Subway sandwiches before the U-shaped thing?
God, that's a lot of gray area here. It's hard to decide.
Anyway, carry on about your sandwich approach.
I like the sandwich approach. Always eat sandwiches. But leading up to the holiday, I try to just eat really well, you know, get the abs popping and stuff so you look good on the beach. During the holiday, you do what you got to do, right? You try to make the best of it, but chances are you're going to fall off the wagon. And then you come back from the holiday and again, other side of the sandwich. It's like you go back into your normal eating and try to undo the damage that's been done. And I think if you can give yourself those periods of time where you just like, don't worry about it. It's okay, whatever. I'm going to have a dessert or I'm going to drink some beers or whatever. But you've earned it leading up to it. And then you've repaid the debt at the end of it. I think that was what works best for me.
Yeah. I read recently, you are your habits, and that you don't choose your future, you choose your habits, and your habits shape your future.
For sure.
And so much of what we try to do at Brio is like, if it boils down to one thing, it's habits. We're trying to help people establish the right habits. And so what does that mean? Well, I think it means that who you are as a person isn't these big, broad, sweeping gestures and actions like, oh, I'm very generous. Doesn't mean you have to donate your whole net worth to the university and have a hospital named after you. It's like little small actions every day of how you show up for other people or share, invite people over. Generosity is like a spirit of actions that you take all the time, not one big, broad thing. And you could keep doing that with being honest and being loyal and being caring and being a person that values your health. Those aren't big actions. Those are a million little small decisions that accumulate. And so because those little small decisions, those habits, and most of your habits you're doing without thinking about them, damn, you have to be really consciously aware about what gets habituated in your life.
Absolutely. I think it's a never-ending battle, right? Like you don't get to just work out once and be like, cool, I worked out, I am fit.
Fitness, check.
Done. Or you can't just give somebody a free sandwich and be like, I am a generous soul. Yeah, today you were, but what's tomorrow going to look like?
Yeah.
And it's a million days of, you know, living the life you want to live and being who you want to be that makes it who you are.
And there's this funny, like, you have to thread this needle. It's really tricky because your habits, what makes them wonderful is they're operating at a subconscious level. So they're not taking up much mental space. Decision fatigue, they call it. So the more things in your life that are just automated, just routine habit that you don't even have to think about what, where, when you do them, you just do them, then they take up like no mental space. But to get something into the subconscious level of your behaviors, you have to be super consciously aware of what that is, what you're allowing into the subconscious on repeat level. So as far as I'm concerned, everything is up for experimentation and for evaluation. And I kind of realized this about myself a little while ago. I am constantly always conducting an experiment about something.
Oh, yeah. There's always stuff just showing up in the mail. I'll be like, what is this? I'll be like, oh, I saw this ketone supplement thing and I ordered it. And okay, cool. And there's this new monitor thing and there's this new whatever. There's always stuff going on.
But even aside from I like to purchase things and I'm frequently influenced by stuff on Instagram, it works on me and they know it does. So they show me more. Yeah. I've been influenced more than once. Like recently, in the last couple months, I was experimenting with changing up my caffeine intake in the morning, like drastically reduced my caffeine intake. So I was like, what happens if I do this? I stopped eating nuts for a little while. I was like, what happens if I stop eating nuts? I just want to know. And some of it, sometimes there's a reason where I'm like trying to solve a problem, but sometimes I'm just curious or I just really, really, really don't like the idea of being beholden to something where I can't function without it. I don't like outsourcing my power to people, products, things, routines. I think it's Nassim Taleb calls it anti-fragile, where I just want to be as anti-fragile as possible. And like I've started drinking coffee, I don't know, I was in my 30s, so like late to that party. But I also don't like the idea of being so hooked on needing my morning coffee that I like can't function if I don't have it. And when we go travel and teach CrossFit seminars, we taught one last weekend in a small town in Nova Scotia. There's no Starbucks. So we had no coffee in the morning. And so I can't have that be like, well, now I can't work all day. It's like, I'm fine. So I recognize that as a tendency in myself. And then now I'm realizing how much that plays out into our life and the way we run Brio and the way, the sort of message we push about habits and always being willing to check in and change and mix it up with what's in your habituated routines of your day.
I was listening to a podcast. I forget, you were listening to it as well. The lady that talks about dopamine. Do you remember her name?
Oh, Anna Lemke. She wrote Dopamine Nation.
Yes. And they were talking, like she works with people with major addictive issues and major problems. But she says anything that gives you some sort of dopamine response that's addictive takes at least 4 weeks of abstinence for your brain chemistry to start to regulate again. So if you want to go a period of time without caffeine, you have to do it for at least 4 weeks. Otherwise, it's just, you go back to it and you're right back where you started. So 4 weeks is kind of like the minimum amount of time. That's why they make the 75 hard challenge 75 days, because it takes that long to create a new habit. So all of these things, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to give up desserts for 3 days and see how it goes. No, you need to actually do something for an extended period of time to give your brain time to adjust and try to build up a new routine. So a lot of the stuff we do, it's based around like a monthly challenge.
Yeah. And just, I mean, there's no prizes, there's no scores. Like January, we've done this now, I think 3 years in a row, the step into January, 10,000 steps a day. And tying back into what you said before, it was like, don't wait for the perfect conditions to start this habit. We do it in January on purpose. It sucks. It's cold. It's dark out. It's easy to get lots of steps in the summer when you just go for a walk. You don't even need shoes. You just walk outside. So making sure you stay active enough when it's the worst takes some effort and it takes some planning. And maybe you're outside and that's cool, but maybe you go to the mall at lunchtime and do some laps, or maybe you do some extra laps around Costco, or you park far away, or we're lucky enough to have a treadmill in our garage. So there was lots of breaks between work or 10:30 at night in there, like finishing my steps. And, you know, the 10,000 is an arbitrary number. There's probably health benefits at 8,000 or 12,000. The number isn't the specific. It's that you build trust with yourself by saying that you're going to do something and following through on it. And man, people letting themselves down is a massive problem. And so you could pick any habit you want and just stick to it enough that you build trust in yourself that you're going to do what you said you're going to do.
Yeah. And we all know, like, you know, if you check it and it says 6,800 and you log, 10,048, like you are lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody else gives a shit.
Yeah.
But you're letting yourself off the hook. And that's like problematic disorder. You know, like you can't be that type of person that's just willing to be secretly saying you're doing one thing and then actually doing another thing just so that other people don't give you a hard time about it. You know, like nobody gives a shit about you.
Yeah.
You know? It's just
That's the main character syndrome right there.
For sure. It's just you either did it or you didn't,
Yeah.
you know? It's weird how people get in strange about new things, right? People struggle with change. And one of the foundational statements in CrossFit, part of the fitness in 100 words, is routine is the enemy. And that is more than just don't do Monday, back day, Tuesday, chest day. That's more, don't get stuck in a rut where you're constantly just doing the same thing over and over and over again. You have to challenge yourself. You have to do things that make you uncomfortable. You have to constantly analyze, am I doing everything I can to get the most out of my life in so many different ways, you know?
It's so interesting because the charter for CrossFit is mechanics, consistency, then intensity. But in World Class Fitness in 100 words, it says towards the end, routine is the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, which is it? Do we want consistency or are we anti-routine? And you're like, both, in a weird way that seems like a dichotomy that you can't resolve. But you do need to be consistent in certain things. Definitely should be routine. Your sleep habits should be as routine as possible. Your bedtime and wake time should be as consistent as possible. How often you come to the gym should be pretty consistent. If you can get to 5 days a week, that's awesome. That's our 20 plus committed club. That's the goal. But then when you come to the gym, if everything you do is too routine, that's not a good thing. If you always do the same scaling option for pull-ups, if you always do the same weight for thrusters, if you always do the same thing, well, then you just don't get any better.
Yeah.
So there has to be a willingness to step out of consistency. So you got to show up, but then you got to be willing to try things, to push yourself, to learn new skills, to suck at something, to do a weight that's uncomfortable, to lift heavier than you want to do a couple extra reps when you could just stop and let the clock run for 10 seconds. Like all those things you have to get out of your routine.
Even the time of day you work out. We have so many people that they go, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 7 a.m. or whatever. If you get too stuck in a rut with what time you work out, when things come up, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
We have so many people that come and they can't make it at noon, and so they come at 4:30, and they can't make it on Saturday, so they come on Sunday. And that's awesome. That's the way it should be. The people that only go X certain times was, we'll have a dentist appointment this Tuesday, so I'm not going to go to the gym. But you could still go. Like you can go at a different time. And if you're so stuck in your routine, you're letting yourself off the hook from doing the amount of work that you know you should be doing. So as much as it's great to build a routine that works for your schedule, don't be so captive by your routine that you can't accommodate other things that come up. You need to find a way to just make things happen because there's always going to be stuff coming up.
Back in the day when we had 3 locations of Brio, on the holidays, like the long weekends and Mondays, we would go to Brio West, which was the big one. We would do these big fun group workouts on the holidays. But there was people that went to any of the other 2 locations that would not work out that day because their gym wasn't open. So that's obviously like a harmful level of routine where you're like, I go to this location at these times, and if this location at these times is not available, I don't work out.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I'm going to drive 7 minutes over there and maybe work out with some different people that I don't get to see all the time. Like being anti-fragile, being resilient to a slight perturbation of your schedule or routine or whatever it is. So that I try to emphasize to people too, like exercise is just what we do. It's not what we do in these 4 walls of CrossFit Brio. So if you go on vacation, the expectation is like, you still exercise on vacation. If you go to the lake or you go away, yeah, you're bringing your gym shoes. That's what we do. And that's how you be anti-fragile even when you're out of the routine.
And it's great for your body, of course, but it's also good for your mind. Like there's so much research that shows the more you can mix up your routine, the better it is for preventing Alzheimer's and dementia and all that kind of stuff. Brush your teeth with your left hand sometimes just to challenge your brain.
Yeah.
You know, stand in a different corner of the gym just to challenge your brain. Use a different pull-up bar just to challenge your brain.
I noticed a few people have been mixing it up this year. Some people
good.
are on the opposite side of the gym, and I was like, oh, I like this. This is good. We're being, we're being anti-snowflake.
For sure.
Basically. I think So owning Brio this is a weird position to be in. It's a business. We charge people money to be customers of our business, but what are they paying for and what's our role?
Yeah.
Because we're not here to do what's popular. We're here to do what's effective.
Well, I think so many businesses out there, they cater towards giving somebody something they want, right? Mm-hmm. You want a donut, and so you go to the donut store and they like give you a donut that you want. You're like treating yourself to something that you want. You do not need that donut. Yeah. That's just pure craving, pure want. And so many businesses are like that.
Yeah.
Most businesses that are service oriented are giving you something that you want. And so you get to decide what you want. We're in this weird business where we're providing a service that people need. Mm-hmm. And if they got to choose what they wanted, they would continue to do the stuff that they're already good at. They would continue to do the stuff that's not that challenging, and they would continue to stay the same. So we have to be the bad guys sometimes where we're like, I know you want to do that, but today you have to do this.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, ugh, and they don't like us for it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're saving your life. The donut people are not.
Yeah.
So as much as it sucks to change things up and have to do things you don't want to do, just remember at the end of the day, it's so much better for you in so many ways, and you just have to do it.
Yeah. And okay, so when you sign up to train with us, in some ways you're outsourcing. You're like, I know for my long term, this is what I need to do. I'm going to put myself in your hands and you guys are going to look after me. And we've talked about this before about being the caretakers of Brio, which comes with making all kinds of decisions that are often unpopular.
Yeah.
You have to raise rates to keep up with rising costs. That's just how you keep the lights on and run a business that keeps its doors open for 17, 18 years. You know, we have to change things up like to suit the situation at the time. So during COVID, we had our social distancing rules. We had 14 racks in the gym and the squares taped out on the floor. We did that for a couple years. And then when COVID was over and we didn't have those restrictions anymore, that setup didn't serve us. And we changed the layout of the gym. Took out some racks, moved it onto the wall, got rid of the squares, and mostly people hated it. And mostly I don't care because it just has to be done. We have to move forward. COVID is over. We can't stay in our squares. This doesn't serve us anymore. And so yes, people were like, I miss my square. I was like, cool. Yeah, I know. But look to the future. Don't look behind you. Yep. Look ahead. And that comes with all kinds of things. And so when you sign up at Brio, you can expect, and I will guarantee that things will not stay the same. Mm-hmm. No 2 years will be the same. The gym layout will not stay the same. The programming will not stay the same. The community will not stay the same. Nothing's going to stay the same. So we just lean into that. Just embrace that.
That's a feature, not a bug.
That's a feature, not a bug. That's a promise, is that we will not be stagnant. And that's a good thing. I hashtag continuous improvement a lot on things that we do because we're always tinkering. You're always fixing something up or making the gym a little better, or changing things or moving things around. And where's the storage for this now? Who knows? Every long weekend, people joke that like, where's shit going to be today?
Yeah. And
so the latest experiment is we went back to daily blog posts, and some people hate it. And I don't care. I mean, I do a little bit. I listen. Yeah. I do value people's opinions and that kind of thing. But of course, people don't like change. And I'm well aware every time we make change, there's always just a stream of complaints. Surprisingly, nobody is, hey, I really appreciate all the extra effort you're putting in. No, people don't approach with gratitude. People approach with fear and hatred of change. And that's fine. But they've put us, you and me, in that role of trusted leader, coach, whatever, to make those decisions on their behalf. And that's exactly why you need us, is because you would not do those things to yourself. Yep. And you can apply that to all of the workouts, everything. This is all shit you would not do yourself. So yeah, we've been back on the daily blog posts.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily a permanent thing. It's just an experiment. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes. But it's one of those things where we're just mixing it up to challenge people to think about things in a different way.
Yeah.
We got into a habit of posting the whole week's worth of workouts so that people could plan their week and stuff. And that allows people to decide which workouts they're going to do and not do ahead of time. But that is not in the spirit of CrossFit.
That is called cherry picking. And that is not a good thing.
It's supposed to be, you have your days of the week that you're going to be able to work out, and you just go to those days. And sure, you might have a bad knee and Tuesday is one of your days and we squat on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to do something different. We're going to deadlift, or we'll bench, or we'll do something. Yeah. But we'll make it happen for you. You don't avoid the days you can't do because of limitations, you go to those days and the coach makes it happen for you. And we've done that for almost 2 decades now.
Yeah.
That's just how we operate. So there's no good excuse there. Just come in, we'll make it work for you.
Yeah.
The other thing is, oh, well, I don't want to do that workout. Well, too fucking bad. That's how you get better, is by doing the workouts you don't want to do.
Yes.
And we're still giving people plenty of notice. Like we've been posting them at 7 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
So you have 11 or 12 hours to make sure you're wearing the right shorts and have your skipping rope and have all that kind of stuff. So basically what it comes down to is, well, I like the week's post because then I can pick and choose which ones I go to. And that's just not the spirit of what we're trying to do here, you know?
Yeah.
And so we're switching it up. We're trying something different, and we appreciate the feedback. But like we said, sometimes we have to make people do what they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that some people don't want to do, but too bad. You have to do it for a little while.
And when people get too into a routine, I'm very sensitive to that, and then we shake it up.
Yeah.
When people start to get too weird about, this is my squat rack and I go over here and blah, 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 guess what happens? We're going to change the gym layout.
Yeah.
Like when it starts to get pathologically adherent to the routine, then we're going to mix it up, almost guaranteed. So the more people admit to cherry picking, the closer we get to not posting the workouts at all for a period of time, to be like, ooh, okay, we got to shake that off. We got to get that little rat out of your mindset. Like, that's got to get out of there. And I've been thinking a lot about, in the last, I don't know, year or so, what was the magic of CrossFit in those early days, the early 2000s, that made it so addictive, culty, whatever it was? Like, it took over the world. And what was it that was so different from every other type of exercise routine out there that did that levered something in human psychology that got people to be like really, really, really into exercise of all things, and hard exercise too.
Yeah.
So I think there was like the variance in the programming being not so much volume that you couldn't show up every single day or you can't do other things. So all of these third-party programs that just try to shotgun approach people with volume, and then they're just too beat up and can't enjoy the rest of their life. And so volume's a problem. Intensity is good. Variance is good. The challenge is good. There was certainly some dopamine action in the brain about like new skills and PRs, and something about full sense sprinting, the endorphins you get out of that. Like, it changes your neurochemistry for sure. And then there was like, so classic CrossFit, 2001, CrossFit starts posting the workout of the day on this ghetto old blog post website thing, and it was daily. So it was the night before, the workout would come out, and it was fun. It had this ritual to it that you would open your, refresh. I was going to say open your phone. I didn't even have a smartphone then. Open your computer, your desktop, boot up the desktop, and check what the workout on CrossFit.com was. And then when affiliates started in 2004, they adopted the same thing. Almost every affiliate had a blog, and you would have a blog post, and it would go up, every evening or the morning of, and people would see what the workout was. And we sure did that in the early days, and it would have a picture of a member. And at some point, and honestly, just out of like laziness, I started doing a weekly post instead of daily posts. And what's funny, I was saying this to you this morning, when we moved to weekly posts, people complained. And they were like, oh, I miss checking the blog every day, and I miss seeing the pictures of people. And then some days it would be you, and it would be so exciting. And so there was this little asymmetric rewards, they call it. It's sort of like what slot machines do to your brain, is
Right.
you pull the handle and you're like, am I going to win? Am I going to win? And some days it's a workout you love, and some days it's a workout where you're like, oh. And that asymmetric reward aspect of the daily blog post was part of the magic back then.
Yeah.
It was engaging with it every day. It was being excited about it every day. Maybe sometimes disappointed. So I will admit, moving to weekly blog posts was a mistake. And I'm perfectly fine to admit when we've made mistakes. And I've had that sense for a long time that moving to the weekly post killed some of the magic. And I was like, oh, we should, And it, like I said, it was just purely out of, it's just less work for me to do it once a week than every day.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, I'm not a lazy person. I can buck up and go back to
Experiment for a while.
experiment the other way for a while.
And before they started posting the workouts, you would just show up at the gym.
Yeah.
And he would get out the whiteboard and he would write it down on the whiteboard as you were sitting in the class. So there was no prep, there was no anything. It was just like, this is what we're doing right now. You know? So at least you guys have a little bit of notice so you can gear up with whatever you need. But there was a period of time where you didn't need 1 million pounds of gear to do a workout. You just did the workout. It's like, you don't need your lifters today. You're just going to do some squats without lifters. That's fine.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of being less fragile, like you said, we just mix it up. We like to change it up and experiment and tinker, and we're trying to encourage that on other people. And obviously we're always open to feedback, but sometimes it's, yeah, cool, good to know. I get it, I understand, but like that doesn't change that we're going to do this right now, and whatever, it's fine. So it's like one of those things where change is hard, but change can be very, very good. And left to our own devices, we would probably make way worse choices for ourselves than we should. So we're trying to find the best thing for our people. We're trying to be the caretakers of our community. We're trying to make people better humans. That's our main goal, right? Yep. So there's no maliciousness. There's no spiteful decision-making. It's all just, let's try this out and see how it works for people. And then we reassess and change as needed. Yeah. And I was saying this in the classes the other day. I'm looking at the engagement, how many people check the blog posts every day. I, of course, like to look at the correlation between when the workout gets posted, do registrations for the next day go up or do they go down? And Chantel Kane absolutely nailed it when she was like, oh, you're definitely conducting a giant social experiment on us. I was like, for sure I am. I'm not even trying to pretend that I'm not. I'm absolutely like, what if I change this and what happens to this? And so I'm looking at my criteria for success is, are more people just showing up for workouts? Are we getting more or less cancellations? Like those kinds of behaviors. Yes, I listen to the feedback that people say, but back to the Henry Ford quote, if I would have asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. Yeah. Where I'm interested in what are the conditions that create the best outcomes, that get you to show up, that get you to try hard, that get you to work on your weaknesses, that get you to show up on your bad days. I'm interested in what I can do as the professional in charge of this whole thing to create those conditions. And whether or not you like it isn't a primary factor. Yeah. And I've really been trying to hammer this message in the last little while because I had this realization that CrossFit's really fun and the formula has made it fun. The warm-ups are fun, the music is fun, the community is fun, and that there's this pervasive myth out there that you just have to find a form of exercise that you like. No, fuck that. That's not how this works. Like not all exercise is equal and you just pick the one that you like. No, if you want to live a fulfilling, robust, independent, functional life until you die, there are things you have to do. You have to practice picking things up. You have to practice going up and down stairs. You have to practice getting off the floor. You have to practice putting things up over your head on a shelf. And if you don't, you won't have those capacities. They don't just continue to exist. It's a use it or lose it kind of thing for sure. So you may like Zumba and you may like pickleball, and those things are great and you should absolutely do them, but they do not replace your need to deadlift and squat and lunge and burpee and press overhead. Like you have to do those things. And it doesn't matter if you like them. It's better if you do, but whether you do or don't is irrelevant. And there are times in your life where you're really not going to like it. Pregnant, postpartum, injured, sick, like whatever it is, there's times where it's going to be really not fun. Lots of, we'll try to make it fun most as we can, but you still have to stick to it even in the times where it's not fun. Yeah. So let's not let whether you like something or not be the primary concern because that's just being an adult. Yeah. There's all kinds of shit you got to do that it doesn't matter if you like it or not. Yeah. Pay your bills, mow your lawn, shovel your driveway. You just got to do those things. Doesn't matter if you like them or not. I said this previously, but I think it's worth saying it again, that saying all exercise is created equal is like saying all calories are created equal. And you just can't live off of a diet of all of your food intake coming from gummy bears and donuts. That's just not going to happen. And in the same way, you can't expect to be healthy and do nothing but jazzercise. You're getting a little bit of the way there, but you're missing out on a whole lot. Like, how's your bone density going to be when you're old? How's your muscle mass going to be? Like, all those things are not getting touched by jazzercise. So unfortunately, we have to do things that we don't want to do. I would happily bicep curl and bench press over squat and deadlift, but that's not going to cut it. Yeah. So we all have our things that we like to do, and that's great. Go do those things. Yep. But do the things you don't want to do because that's what makes you better. Mm-hmm. And I do think there's something to be said for, like, back to what you were talking about. I was like, just show up ready to work out. For sure. And think of it like, I've been drawing a lot of parallels with what we do at Brio with like training with a team. Do you miss playing team sports when you were younger? You would show up at a scheduled time. The coach would have the session all planned for you. You'd throw down with your buddies and have a good time. The coach runs some drills and gives you some feedback and helps you develop your skills and your technique to perform better. That's CrossFit. We just described CrossFit. It's that, but for adults and forever.
And you also showed up to practice and you didn't know what the coach had planned. You didn't get to see the training session plan ahead of time. You just showed up ready to do whatever the coach said is what you do. And those early days of CrossFit, like you said, that's where the whiteboard brief being part of a class plan grew out of, was because people showed up to the gym and didn't know what the workout was. You had to allow 3 to 5 minutes in the class to explain what was going on that day, because it was the first time people would have heard of it. And that happens to us lots when we drop into other CrossFit gyms, is because if they don't post it on their website and you're not in there or be on the whiteboard, you don't know what the workout is. So you just show up and you're just ready for anything. And then you show up with that spirit of ready for anything, and you have to trust the coaches.
Yeah.
The coaches will help you scale and modify appropriately for whatever you got going on. And because people are so hardworking and resilient in CrossFit, I have zero empathy left. Oh, your foot hurts? Yeah, whatever. Get in here. Like, we've been watching Coach Ryan made the committed club last month with a blown out knee, and he's in there and he's making good choices and he's scaling and modifying as needed, but he's still working out.
Yeah.
You know, we got Jimmy working around a pec thing right now. I posted a video of him working out with one arm the other day. So, you just get in here and we'll make it work for you. And there's always a way. So no, I don't give a shit if your toe is ouchy or your knee is a little bummed or whatever. Get in here. We're still working out. There's a million other things you can still do.
Yeah, there's always something to work on. There's always something to get better at. So we'll make it happen. Just show up, pick your days, and just show up.
And I am being very extra about the daily blog post right now, doing no, eat, do. Nuggets of knowledge, which was also something that CrossFit.com used to do on their daily blog post. There was always a link to an article, a video, like something to learn. And they used to refer to CrossFit as the thinking man's sport, because there was this heavy intellectual element to what was going on. And Greg was like a genius, very high level intelligent, and often spoke at a level that was well above most of our pay grades. But there would be some really deep stuff on there to read and learn about and consider. And some of it was completely not related to training at all.
Yeah.
So there was always that knowledge aspect. And there's so much that goes into a healthy lifestyle. So many things that people need to know. Like, I've posted stuff about, obviously lots on nutrition, but mindset and taking the stairs and, you know, how to prevent depression and Alzheimer's and all kinds of different aspects of health. Little microdosing, little nuggets of knowledge. So I always put something on there that 5, maybe 10 minutes to read in the day. Yeah, that would be better for you. It would be better for your brain. And then there's always a recipe or something to eat. People need to be reminded on a daily basis of like what good food choices look like, that nutrition is important. It comes before the workout on the post of what are the kinds of things you should be eating. So there should be no excuses about, I don't know what to make. I can't think of anything. I'm stuck in the routine. I just keep eating macaroni and cheese. It's every day there's going to be like this little poking you about, hey, what are we eating? What are we eating?
Yeah.
So that we need to get another little rat in the mindset is, I work out so I can eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
Got to get that out of there. That's not how that works. You will just end up sick and injured with a high level of work capacity. That's how that goes.
Yep.
You'll have cavities, blown out tendons, eventually diabetes, PCOS, like that kind of stuff. But man, you can do some thrusters fast.
Except you don't, because you avoid the thruster days.
If you were going to avoid any particular day, what day would it be?
Thrusters.
You would say thruster day for sure.
God. Yeah. I think the big thing everybody just needs to remember, like I said earlier, is just we're in this weird, like, we're not parents, but we're the parents kind of relationship, you know, where it's like, if you left your toddlers to their own, they would eat candy for breakfast and they wouldn't brush their teeth. And all y'all are very similar. And if there wasn't anybody here making you do stuff, you wouldn't do burpees. Like, some of you would, but most of you wouldn't do burpees. And those of you that like cardio wouldn't do any heavy lifting. And those of you that like heavy lifting wouldn't do any cardio. And we're in this weird position where we have to be like, I know you want snacks, but now is not the time for snacks. We need to focus on our fitness, our health, our nutrition, or whatever. And so we're making all of these decisions because we know it's best, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, because it's being the responsible one. And all of us in all directions outsource certain parts to trusted experts.
Yeah.
You should outsource your financial planning to a person that knows what they're doing. You should outsource the fitness and health stuff to a person that knows what they're doing. You don't have to know, and A, you don't have to have that much knowledge, and B, you don't have to take on the mental, emotional baggage of making all those decisions.
Yeah.
A smart person recognizes where their strengths are and then outsources the rest of it. And I was saying this to a new person the other day. I think it was Steph, who told me one time, she's like, I come here so I don't have to think. She's a grade 6 teacher. She's like, I make a million decisions all day. I just want to come here. I want to walk through the door, and I know that everything is planned for me. The coach has the warm up ready, the workout ready. They're going to tell me if my technique is good or bad. And you just get to not coast. That's the wrong word.
But you still got to work hard.
All you have to do is show up and work hard, and all the other decisions are outsourced to someone that will do that for you. So that's the beauty of it. That's this whole thing. For sure, you could buy equipment, put a garage gym in, and then you have to make up your own workouts, and you have to decide when you're working out, and you have to video and analyze your own technique instead of having a coach do it. It's like, you could do that.
And you're also not going to work as hard because you're not with anybody else.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
There's very few people in the world that will work out as hard on their own as they will with a group of other people working out at the same time.
And if you do manage to do it, it costs you much more cognitive effort and energy to drum up that much motivation and effort in isolation.
Yeah.
Humans are meant to do hard things with other people.
Yeah.
So there's many aspects to it. So I care a bit whether or not people like things or how things are going, but I'm definitely looking at other metrics.
Yeah.
To decide what's working and what's not.
Yeah, there's more to it than what we like or what we want. And we're the same, we're part of the same pool as you. I would love to just do bench press in my garage. I would. I would absolutely take that over going and doing thrusters and burpees in a class. But I know that doing thrusters and burpees in a class will benefit me 10 times more than doing bench press alone in my garage. So we're all in this together. We're all trying to do the hard things. And that's part of being a grown-up is you don't get to have candy for breakfast. You have to just go and do the hard things. You have to go to work every day. You have to take care of your health. You have to get yourself new clothes when your fucking socks are full of holes. It's, I'm a grown-up. I need to replace my socks, you know? And exercise, the right kind of exercise is just one of those things where, it's not always fun. And sometimes you have to do stuff you don't want to do, but that's just part of it.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, being in a business where we sell effort and hard work is...
That's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell. So I'm always grateful for all the people that are willing to be on this boat with us to be like, okay, even if I don't like it, I know I need to try hard and do hard things and stand a much better chance of doing that in this environment, in this community with these people than I would on my own. That's what this is, basically. And then it's our job to create the most value for that investment of not just money, but time. And I feel strongly about your fitness and your health. Like, you have these wealth accumulation years, 20s, 30s to like mid 40s probably. And what you don't get back is time. And so if you waste 10 or 15 years either not working out at all, but I think the biggest tragedy is when people do work out, they pay a gym membership and they go, but they're on a program that's so ineffective that they just don't get fit. Yeah. That's the worst because you don't get time back. Every one of those training sessions that was just a waste of time because it didn't have enough variety, intensity, skill work. There's no meat on the bone there. Yeah. That you might end up arriving at your 50s with can't squat, can't deadlift body weight, can't do 50 burpees in 5 minutes. Like, you just, no work capacity, no balance, no strength. You didn't get what you need. It's like putting your money with an investment advisor and you just get no returns. And you're like, well, now you're not going to meet your retirement goals because this program just didn't work. And
we've had many people start with us and they show up and we're like, all right, what have you done in the past? I'm like, well, I've always worked out, and they've been working out literally their whole life. And they do one workout with us and almost die. Yeah. Like, they have zero work capacity. Yep. It could be like a 30, 40-year-old something person who's been working out for 20 plus years, and they are literally more decrepit than our 60 to 70-year-olds. Mm-hmm. It is astonishing how unfit some people can be that have been working out their whole life. Yeah. It's mind-blowing. Yeah. Where they literally can't push themselves off the ground into a push-up. They literally struggle to do a full-depth air squat. Yeah. They can barely squat their own body weight. It is remarkable. So just because you're working out doesn't mean you're making improvements. Mm-hmm. You need to do the hard things. You need to do the stuff you don't want to do, and you need somebody there to guide you through that process. Yeah. And so there's so many things that go into that. Like, the programming is one thing. The coaching is one thing. The class planning is one thing. The way that we talk about the stimulus of the workout and the way I intervene and sometimes put weight on and sometimes take weight off your bar and sometimes get in your face, make you go faster or tell you to slow down. Like, there's all of these things.
and then including trying to make it fun and somewhat addictive and engage with it daily and make it front of mind, but also part of your subconscious routine of, well, this is just what you do. And I do like to tinker and all these little variables and see what things that we do that move the needle. So back to January was the 10,000 steps a day, with the idea being like, you have to have general daily movement. It doesn't always happen automatically. The summertime, it will happen more automatically because you're just outside and it's nice out. But the times where it's not happening automatically is where you have to think about it and put effort in, and you have to do things like plan a walking meeting with your coworkers, or go purposely do some laps around somewhere, between soccer games when you're at the soccer center with your kids for a few hours. Like, you have to make a conscious decision to get up and move your butt around wherever you can.
Yep.
And then February, this is the third year of the mental health Push for Better challenge with the Canadian Mental Health Association. And I always think the big takeaway there is, what if you just put a few minutes in every day on a skill for 3 weeks? This whole challenge is 3 weeks long. We're going to do 2,000 push-ups. The last couple times we've done it, everyone is way better at push-ups by the end of this thing. Our shoulders are sore, but we're way better at push-ups. So what if you did a few strict pull-ups every single day for 3 weeks, or worked on your handstand every single day for 3 weeks? And a few minutes, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You would be fantastically better at these things if you just put in a little bit of work every day.
Yeah. Consistency. Change it up. Mm-hmm. Don't get too stuck in a routine. Don't get too set in your ways.
Yeah.
But be consistent and showing up and being willing to do new things.
Mm-hmm. And we're moving towards, as a culture, as a community, I use the word anti-fragile. I think I've said resilient. I think we call it snowflakey. We're trying to shake ourselves out of those things. As soon as you start to feel yourself get too princessy, snowflakey about things, you got to be like, whoop, and shake it up. And that should go for everything. Like your alcohol consumption. We've touched on alcohol a few times lately. If you're in such a routine that you drink every day, you need to take a step back and evaluate your relationship with alcohol. And what is it for? And why are you using it? And did it just become part of a routine if it's just what you do? I just sit down for dinner and I pour a glass of wine. It's like, why? And do you need to? And what's that for? And is that serving you? Is that habit serving you well? I guarantee you it's not. Mm-hmm. Daily alcohol consumption is like a vote for dementia every single day that you do it. Like, the research on that is super clear. The facts are the facts involved in that, are all kinds of things. So we'll do the drinking water thing again. Aqua April, try to drink enough water. And I remember somebody saying, they're like, I can't drink water. And like before they had coffee in the morning or something. And I was like, what? I was like, how do words like that even come out of your mouth without you being like, oh, wow, I got to, think about my life here for a second. And okay, so the open, that just makes me think of getting outside your comfort zone and not being such a princess and all those kinds of things. That's what the open is for. And back to like, hey, do you miss playing team sports when you were a kid and there was like tournaments or games you would go to? That's what the open is, but for adults and forever. And so you put all this effort into driving your kids around to all their stupid games and tournaments that they're not even going to remember. They don't matter. You got to set aside 3 Fridays. In the whole year, that's it. And if you got to get another set of parents to drive your kid to hockey practice, or you got to get a babysitter, whatever, do something for yourself and challenge yourself. If you have kids, you're being a role model for your kids about, you're not just asking them to challenge themselves, you're doing the same. And people will feed themselves all these weird excuses of, oh, well, I'm not very competitive. So you're not going to come do some workouts with your friends on a Friday night?
Yeah.
What does being competitive have to do with anything? Or, oh, well, I don't have my double unders. Like, so does like 80% of the people on the leaderboard. Who gives a shit? So you're going to come and try anyway. Like stuff like that. Almost any excuse that people try to come up with for why they don't want to do the open, you could just answer with, so?
Yeah. Even if you can only make it to 1 week, like whatever, come do the thing for once and sign up because it's $20, right? Let's sit down and go through your credit card together and we'll assess if you've spent $20 on stupider things than coming in and participating in an exercise thing. Guaranteed you've wasted an incredible amount of money this month on stupid shit you don't need.
Dumber shit than that.
Yeah. So you might as well just contribute and help support all of the work that goes into preparing for the open and running the open and putting out the videos and participation stuff and prizes and all that kind of stuff. Like it's a small amount of pay to give back to the community that has given you so much.
Can I get on my soapbox?
Okay. Here we go.
It's a tall Sometimes box. People are like, can I come do the workouts on Friday Night Lights but not sign up for the open?
You hate that.
I hate that. And do you know why? Because if you benefit from the open, you're enjoying it. Are you getting $29 out of enjoyment? Probably more enjoyment than you got out of the last time you went out for dinner or whatever. Relative last time you took an Uber and it was $29. That takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of people, and I work with those people, and I am some of those people that create the content and participate in all the things that go into making the open. Designing the t-shirts, making the videos, doing the live announcements, making the scorecards. Like, a team of people works all year to try to make this thing awesome for us in the CrossFit community. And for you to be like, I don't value it at all. Well, frankly, fuck you, because it's like you're looking at me, you're Jocelyn that you see in the gym all the time and being like, I don't think the work that you do is valuable. And I'm like, that stings a little.
Yeah.
I was part of the live announcement last year. I know what it takes I flew down to Albany and to be there in the behind the scenes and with the producers and all the people involved. And you see the incredible amount of work that these teams of people are putting together. And for someone to just be like, that has no value to me, but I want to suck all the enjoyment out of it. I still want to participate in it. I still want to watch the live announcement. I still want to use a scorecard. I still want to do these workouts that were designed. I still want to go to an affiliate that pays their affiliate fees to do this thing, but I don't value it. You're like, I think to me, that's the equivalent of the person that shows up to run a 10K without registering for the Sask Marathon. And they want to be at the start line and they want to drink the Gatorade at the water stations, but they don't want to sign up and pay the money and get a t-shirt and wear the bib number. And people would be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's not okay at all. And yes, technically, legally, can you run 10K on that same street that they're also running this event? Sure. But it's weird and people aren't going to react well to it. And it's not a good way to be a person like that, to just want to take everything and give nothing in return. I think that sucks.
Yeah. There you go.
There
Soapbox.
you go. So, soapbox.
I'm less passionate about it, but I agree.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's because I do some of that work and I work closely with the people that do a lot of that work. And so it's not just CrossFit is some big nameless, faceless, massive corporation organization. It's like, these are human beings that work really hard to make something cool.
Yeah.
And you're like to that human being saying, I don't value what you do.
They like the CrossFit Games isn't a big moneymaker where they're making billions of dollars off of it every year. They mostly do it because they love it and there's people that are passionately driven to provide a great service. Mm-hmm. But the Open especially, it's not a moneymaker, you know, they're just doing it because it's the first stage and they want to have something that CrossFit communities can do within their gym. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just it's $29. It was $29. $29. $29.
Yeah.
Again, you've wasted way more money on way stupider things.
And if really $29 is enough to make or break your financial situation, talk to me.
Yeah.
I have ways. I have codes. Talk to me.
I have codes.
At no point should, you know, the financial concern be the thing that makes you do or not do the Open.
Yeah.
So, of course.
Same with the time commitment. If you can't do all 3 weeks, that's fine. You just do what you can.
Yep.
If you can't do certain movements, that's fine. You just do what you can.
Yeah.
And it's just part of coming and doing a fun thing. We've never had anybody be like, I fucking hate that shit. I'm never doing that again. It's always just, yeah, that was fun. That was
just you.
Wow.
Say that.
I'm just annoyed that they put thrusters in every year. And here's my soapbox.
Okay, soapbox, do it.
Thanks a lot, Dave Castro. My strengths in CrossFit are gymnastic skills.
Yep.
That's it. And my biggest weakness is thrusters. And they only ever put the gymnastic skills with the thrusters. Every damn year. You want to do some total bar? Here's some thrusters first. You want to do some bar muscle up? Oh, more thrusters. Fuck you. Give me just one, Dave.
That's all muscle ups and toes to bar.
You can throw power cleans in there. I'm okay at those.
Okay, no squatting.
Power
Nothing
cleans,
below parallel.
Yeah. I don't want to have to use my legs. Have you seen these chicken legs? They are not athletes' legs.
For squatting.
These are not athletes' legs. These are, I didn't start squatting until my 30s legs.
Yes. Well, better late than never, at least. But yes, spies and tries over here during the developmental years. Whoops. See, went to the gym for many years.
Came out
with not a lot of results. Yeah. Not that strong. Whoops. And I am the complete opposite, where I can do thrusters for days, but I'm like, God damn it, why do I have to do a chest to bar pull up in here? Can't I just do thrusters and burpees? Yeah. Stay low to the ground. Why do we got to be?
I gotta stay low to the ground. That's such a short person thing to say.
Why do we got to be up there on top of the bar, above the rings? We don't need to do that.
Looking up at that 24-inch box. How am I going to get on that thing?
Hey, I'm good vertical for a short person.
You do.
I can jump high.
That's those springs you're walking around on.
She needs tree stumps. They can move if they have to. Okay, so it's all about the habits.
Yes.
And we've been on that train for a couple years now. Like, I think a couple years ago we did a podcast in January and called it Year of the Habits. And that just continues. And that's our job, is to try to help everybody establish the best habits, mix it up, but also like challenge and evaluate everything that's in your habituated routine, and everything's open for consideration. Yes, drinking water. Yes, your caffeine. Yes, your sleep routine. Yes, when you know what the workouts are. Like, everything's open for evaluation and experimentation. And that's the fun of it. And it does make us less snowflakey, less princessy, more anti-fragile.
We challenge you because we know that you can be better.
Yeah.
And that's just part of being a good human,
And
is
we're
striving to be better.
We're trying to be better. That's what we're doing here. That's what we've all signed up for. Yes.
So do the thing.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
See you in the next one.